everyone, I'm Stephanie McBride, and I've spent the last 20 years studying herbalism and am a certified clinical herbalist and aromatherapist with a focus on maternal health. And one question I get more than any other is, how do I use Clary Sage essential oil during labor? So I want to answer that question for you today and also share a few precautions that you should keep in mind before including this essential oil in your own birth and labor or in someone you care for. So first of all, make sure to use a therapeutic quality essential oil, and also make sure that you're using Salvia Sclarea. There are many different types of sage that are used in herbology. So once you have the right kind of oil, right kind of quality, keep in mind that you have in your hands the most sedative essential oil available. Now, this may seem like something contraindicated when women are fatigued or low energy during a long labor. However, actually having this sedative effect can conserve energy. So maybe you've experienced being extremely tired, but then getting a second wind or feeling like more tense. And that's because when we run out of our true energy, what happens is it kicks in that we have more cortisol and adrenaline and these stress hormones to keep us going. So actually using Clary Sage in early labor, at the beginning of active labor, we can help to just relax the body and conserve energy. So that's a great effect of it. Also, Clary Sage is one of our top oils for labor pain. This is something that's been researched more than most other things for labor. And frankincense is also on top of that list, so is lavender. And those are both great oils that you can blend with Clary Sage, or you can also, just use Clary Sage. So having that lessened perception of pain during labor is such a valuable gift to give to yourself or someone else. But on top of that, Clary Sage is different because it actually both regulates and improves the effectiveness of contractions. What that means is it works similarly to the drug oxytocin in that it can actually stimulate uterine contractions as well as regulate them. So this is something to keep in mind because there are times during labor where this is exactly the effect that you want. For example, when contractions are irregular or labor is slow or it's going on too long, then we actually do want to bring in Clary Sage as something to just speed it up a bit, make it more effective, make it more regular. However, because this has such a strong effect and it's so potent, I want you to keep in mind that once contractions are regular, once they're effective and strong, then it's okay to take Clary Sage out. In fact, I recommend that you take Clary Sage out of whatever blend or oil you're using. So discontinue use once contractions are strong and regular. At that point, you can keep in the other oils such as lavender, frankincense, black pepper, Siberian fir, geranium. There are lots of oils that you can use for support with the pain management other than Clary Sage. So how I would recommend applying this is, for one thing, consider using, I dropped my handkerchief on the ground, but consider using a handkerchief. So this is one of my grandmother's handkerchiefs, and what I would suggest is to just bring one to the birth and put a couple drops of oil on the handkerchief. Cloth makes an excellent diffuser, so easy. And then the mom can hold this in her hands, whereas her care team can, put more oil in it as needed. And she can just simply inhale it as needed. Usually this happens between contractions. Just taking a nice long inhale. What this allows you to do is to keep the oils just concentrated on something that can be used as needed. It can be controlled. It's not actually having a sedative effect on everyone in the room or everyone in the floor of the hospital. We don't want to put to sleep our birth team. So this is my favorite way to use it during labor. A lot of people like to take baths with Clary Sage. If you have a labor tub where you can just take a bath, get the effect that you need, and then drain out the water, that's excellent. Also, some people will be using some kind of poultice or hot water treatment. You can add Clary Sage to that. Just keep in mind that's often used more once active labor has begun. So make sure that the contractions are irregular still at that point and not strong. So once they are strong and regular, you can just dump the water out and use something else. So I like to use a crock pot for that and just have it plugged in, and you can keep changing it out, adding oils, add an emulsifier to that as well. And I go over this all in a lot more detail in my books and in my e-course. And I also have a few webinars out there on YouTube. So please let me know if you have any questions, but keep watching, and thanks for listening. Bye.